We are seeing more and more of the language creeping into trade, showing that it is not trade. You see, you think of trade as being you import and we export and so on and so forth. In other words, we make a product and trade you for another product or money and whatever, however it works out. But trade, as the way it is going on today, is not an exchange. It is not a barter. It is an integration of industry and the economies. Get that point across. Never forget it. It is an integration of our industry and our economy with other nations, particularly on an international scale. For instance, there's been organizations such as USA Engage, which is sponsored by the National Foreign Trade Council. And the usual suspects are in there, Chrysler and Exxon and Morgan Chase and the rest of them involved in this. And they say that they don't want unilateral U.S. sanctions on key sectors of the Russian economy and exclusion of Russia from the global financial system. They don't want to exclude Russia from the global financial underlying system. This is what they are building, and they don't want anything to destroy that. They are building an international financial system and industrial system as far as that goes. For instance, out of Bloomberg, in an article they had on General Electric and Boeing using the Export-Import Bank and that sort of thing, is that they're concerned about this situation with Russia. And they said that they don't want to have anything to interrupt the financial positions that they've had in all of this problem with the Ukraine. For instance, the ExxonMobil Corporation, a Texas-based company, won't take sides in the Russia-Ukraine conflict or any other geopolitical disputes. Let me read that again. Won't take sides in the Russia-Ukraine conflict or any other geopolitical disputes. Do you really believe that? Do you believe these mega corporations aren't taking sides? They're taking sides when they don't even want the United States to have any sanctions against these people. It's a real problem. For instance, they are promoting the international trade agreements that are called partnerships that are in negotiation right now. The Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP, and the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership, the TTIP. And they say something very revealing in here, in this particular thing. Now, this is the National Foreign Trade Council in their official statement on their 2014 priorities. Now, listen to this statement. As always, this is a quote, as always, we will defend global integration. Global integration. This is not trade, ladies and gentlemen. They say they support the trade treaties, but these treaties are not trade. They're global integration. Words are important. Partnerships, when they've got that in the title of these particular agreements that they're trying to push through, means something. Partnership is integration. Partnership is merger. And that's what's happening. And the thing is that we can no longer create military aircraft, even civilian aircraft, without parts from Russia and from China. We are dependent now on these draconian states. Will we have a war with them in the future? Could be. But who's going to suffer in that war if we can't produce the essential parts necessary for our war-making industry when they can? And they have been set up to do so by these American corporations. And right now they think it's going to be integration that's going to prevent war or integrate. And it doesn't matter whether it prevents war or not. If we are all ruled by one international entity, what does it matter whether we have war or not war if we're all slaves to that international entity? Keep in mind Lord Acton's adage that power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely. The larger the organization, particularly government, the more corrupt it becomes until it becomes draconian, not simply corrupt, and it becomes dictatorial. And that's what's happening with these treaties. They're setting these things up. And I go down in my book, International Merger by Foreign Entanglements, to list these treaties that are already changing American society, not just our economy, but society as well. You need to get this book and see what they are. And also, I list the 8 steps that are necessary for equitable free trade. Not just free trade, but equitable free trade. So that we do really have barter, we really do have trade, and not merger. I urge all of you to order this.